on, really.
Very. A little bit of an update from us. Obviously, because we've been MIA for a while.
Yeah. We weren't arrested, honest.
No, honestly, life's been lifing and it's been sucking ass, big style. We've got the final totals of the charity hike that we did. If you don't have any clue what we're on about, it's the last video that was on. Go back and watch it because it was grueling and an adventure.
Wet.
Oh yeah, it was beginning of summer. We was worried that it was going to be heat wave type weather because it was the year before. And what was it? 8 days solid, but it was 6 days solid rain.
Yeah, so we did 8 days. We had 1 day rest. So a day 3 or 4 was a rest day.
Yeah.
We walked for 7 days. 6 days with torrential rain.
Awful.
And then the last night
yeah,
was beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous on the last night.
If you hadn't seen it, we'll stick one of the pictures up of us under our tent, or under the tarp, should I say.
Yeah.
Beautiful. If it had been like that for the entire time, I think we'd have slowed down and not wanted to go home.
Yeah.
But we ploughed through that.
Yeah.
At some pace.
That last night, the run up to that last night, that second to last day, it was a killer, and we had plans to stop wherever we was going to stop. I mean, you could go back and watch the video, you'll see it anyway. But we walked ourselves out basically because our plan A and plan B both failed for whatever reasons, and then it was like, right, we'll just keep walking, and we got to 15 minutes before sunset, and it was like, now or never. So we ended up just be like, this'll do, it's fine. And weirdly, it was the best pitch that we've had. The best night, best views. There was a castle in the distance. It was weird.
It was just an entrance to an old farm, wasn't it? It'd clearly not been managed for a little while.
Yeah, no.
And we were just tarp up against the bales of hay.
Massive hay bales, yeah.
And
just crashed under them.
Crashed under it. We'd actually planned stopping. I think we planned a 19-mile hike that day.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing 24 because we couldn't find anywhere to stop.
Just carried on walking. I mean, it was soul destroying, but I mean, looking back, it was like, okay, that bit was pretty good.
Anyway, so if you don't already know, I think we made a total of, minus the deductions, so I don't know if you guys know, I think we put it on the last post, is we went through GoFundMe because we had 2 charities in mind, and the only problem with 2 charities is we had to set up 2 different links with the Just Giving page. So we went for a GoFundMe, and what we raised minus the deductions, and after those people who haven't coughed up, we've took them off.
Yeah, trying to chase them down.
Yeah, we made a total of £1,640.80.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it is. If I'm wrong, you'll see it on the. We'll put it up anyway.
We'll write across here the exact figure. It's just shy of 1,700, though. I know that. But
you don't know the 2 charities. One of them is Andy's Man Club, which is a men's mental health charity. It's a suicide awareness and prevention group. It's building bigger and bigger all the time. It's nationally. They're setting up groups all over, and they meet up on a Monday, 7 o'clock. Only days they don't is bank holidays, and you just go down and have a natter. And it's men in sheds, a bit like we are now in Adam's war room.
Yeah, it's my workshop.
Yeah, and
far from done, but yeah.
And then the other one is a bit close to my heart, is the St Andrew's Hospice. Now they looked after my brother when he was poorly, and we thought we'd try and give something back to them. And I think the video we've got, you'll see, is of them. We'll add that clip in.
Yeah.
Fantastic charity, really warm and welcoming. Fully deserve the money that we've raised for them, and couldn't be more helpful, really.
No, I mean, total quick communication, straight on top of it, as you would expect them to be. Like, obviously, you're giving them money, so.
And very grateful. I mean,
that's
there's
it.
no complete. It's completely genuine. Sometimes you have these charities and it's at face value they're very genuine, but these are very, very genuine. I went to one of the memorial nights and we had a good chat for about half an hour with a lady from there about nothing important really, and they were really, really just into what we were doing, and it's really good. Anyway, we'll cut to that and we'll come back in a minute, and hopefully we won't have too much more crap to be talking. We have got a bit of a catch up, and we want to tell you a bit about why we haven't been around for a while. And we haven't just forgot about the channel, and we do appreciate everybody who stuck around. We've had comments off people asking where we are and what we're going to do next, and it's actually been really nice. It's made us want to come back more. So you'll see in a minute, because of that, we've actually spent quite a bit of money on preparing for this coming year.
Lots of birthdays and gift days where it was like Father's Day or whatever. It's like, what do you want? I'll have this, or I'll have that, or whatever.
Absolutely.
So people getting us bits and bobs, which is all leading to this next coming year. It's just a case of getting out now, like, because we haven't been able to, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Morning all.
Morning, guys.
You've probably just seen us saying about us dropping the money off at some point. This will be the bit that we edit into it at some point.
I hope so, because otherwise we've done it wrong.
Yeah, if you've seen the other video and we ain't got this bit in, then we're kind of screwed. But yeah, we're at St Andrew's Hospice now. We can't film inside there, which is fair enough, like, so
Absolutely.
we're filming from the car park now. And yeah, we've got the envelopes and we're good to go.
2 deliveries today. It's a bit like, I don't know if you've got this before Christmas, but we feel a bit like Father Christmas, really, because we should have worn a suit.
It's the beard.
It's the beard, yeah. Should have worn suits.
Yeah.
You could have worn the Grinch in this bucket.
Yeah, too right.
Anyway, so hopefully after this you'll see some pictures of us actually dropping it off. We, as Dad said, we won't be filming inside. That's not appropriate, and we wouldn't want to.
No. But they're expecting us, so we're going to nip in there now and see them. And I think they're going to take a photo. So if they send us a photo, then I'll probably put like a snippet of it in here. But that'll be that.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not very interesting. Us smiling with a big check.
Yeah. I'll actually be wearing long trousers, which is a rarity.
Very, very rare.
Awful.
Only normally does it when we go out camping, actually.
Yeah, that's because I don't want my legs getting hammered by some
spiders and ticks and brambles.
Yeah, that's it.
Right then, so I think I'll explain first. I think if that's all right. Why? So I don't know if you guys know, but before we did the walk, I'd had a bit of an accident, quite a bit of an accident, and I was on crutches and in a splint for weeks and weeks, not putting any weight on my leg, which meant I couldn't do stairs. We couldn't do any hiking or walking. We were really sort of unprepared, really.
Yeah. It did kind of get to a point where it might seem like I was going on my own.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was going on his own at one point. But we'd done too much and raced too much to put it back or stop. So, rightly or wrongly, we went on the walk anyway. We ploughed through. But as a result of that, I actually have suffered. My knees have been giving us something great rotten, so we haven't really caught up for any long distance hikes. In fact, it's mainly been coffees and a catch up, hasn't it?
Yeah. Small distance, nothing worth filming or uploading.
It ruined me.
Catching up,
It ruined me.
Yeah, made him his bitch.
So because of that, I've been a bit lazy, put on a bit of weight. We've not really walked, so I'm back at it and rearing to go in the new year. I don't know if most of you guys know, actually, what I do as a job is I'm a physio, so it's been a bit difficult doing that rehab, whilst not being able to do much rehab, and we definitely thought it was a no-goer for me at some one point. I mean, I was non-weight bearing on crutches, and we weren't sure if I'd need to have an operation or not, but thankfully I didn't. And I suppose over to my extra life, mate.
Mine's just been weird anyway. We found out beginning of this year that my job was coming to an end. I've been with a company for 20 years, give or take, and then there was right, yeah, everybody can go, not bothered anymore. So I've spent the last couple of months basically trying to get my ducks in a row, get everything sorted, look for a new job, obviously. And weirdly, hiking is the thing that obviously clears my mind and gets everything sorted. But I ain't even been able to do that. I've just been concentrating on trying to get everything sorted, sort out a new job. I mean, it ended November, so just in time for Christmas, which is always pleasant.
That's kind of one, wasn't
it? Yeah. It was, it wasn't even a thank you. It was just lock the gates on the way out, thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it just sounds like excuses and that, but obviously that's the reason why I ain't even really wanted to go out. I've just been 100 miles an hour, constantly trying to sort stuff out from finding out to now.
I think we got it wrong, really, because I think we've had to prioritise life a little bit, haven't we, in the last few months? But actually, we probably could have been. We'd have been much better off in ourselves had we got out and had a camp. I think the other interesting thing is we've bought lots of kit to go out, and we need it to be cold for this type of equipment.
Yeah, that's it. Because we've been obviously whenever we have met, we've been discussing the direction of the channel. We still want to. We definitely want to do the big challenge each year. A big challenge, whatever it is. Obviously, this year it was the Viking way hike. So sorting the charities out, deciding on the actual thing that we're going to do, and crack on with that. But for everything in between that, because you don't want to hear us just consistently banging on about we're doing this, but it's the same thing over and over. So we want to be testing equipment. And how we started was by like, because neither of us are rich by any stretch, how we started was trying to get out, to camp, to hike, but with the absolute base level gear.
And it still really is, isn't it? But it's gear that, I think the gear we want to test is gear that's accessible to everybody.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
Anybody can get out and have a go and have a practice.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have spent a bit of money, but none of the gear we've bought by any means, other than one item, is hugely expensive. It should be accessible for everybody, and that's that sort of direction we want.
It's basically the Wish version of whatever it is that exists. And we're both on, like, you know, in groups and pages and stuff of professional people who like do this. You know, they won't think twice about dropping $1,000 on a sleeping bag minimum kind of thing, and I won't even think about trying to spend that on a car. Like, I mean, it's just insane money.
I mean, a good example is that I do a bit of photography, and I've recently set up a page. Look out for that. It's Taylor's Wildlife Photography.
Yeah.
We are actually linking with this, but it's not separate. The only reason I've separated it, guys, is because there's going to be some of you that aren't interested in any of that. They don't want to see me go out on a POV walk, taking pictures of birds. You know what you guys want. You're here for the adventures and the camping, and for us two talking nonsense. So although it is separate, it's all part and parcel of the same.
Yeah.
But you know, there's people I watch there, and they have these cameras, and the lenses are 13 to 20 grand. You know, and these are amateur YouTube sites. You just think you can't justify that. So, or I can't justify that. So we want to keep it real and keep it real. We want to keep it accessible to everybody. So, you know, everybody should be able to go out and camp, and that's how we first started.
Yeah.
You know, army surplus sleeping bag, bivvy bag,
Yeah.
and a tarp, and let's go out, find a bit of woods, have a camp. You know,
Yeah.
we've learned a lot on the way. And
Freeze,
I think,
half
die, freeze,
turn blue, cry, make mistakes,
get attacked by a zombie deer in the night.
Yeah.
But we've learnt loads, you know, and I think we're, I wouldn't say professional, but we're slightly a little bit more knowledgeable about what we're doing. And I think we're in a place where we could probably give a bit of advice and give some ideas of what kit works and what doesn't. Anyway, so I suppose that's where we want to take it.
Yeah.
I think some of the stuff we did last year was exploring some abandoned places, you know, and I really love to get back into that. I think,
there is
you know,
a few on the list I want to do.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have watched it. There's the Skidbrook Church, the most haunted church in Britain. You know, we said if we get 100 likes on that video, we're going to camp it, and we're almost there.
No, we're not.
We are.
I can't see it.
Well, we're halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been like nearly a year since we did it, so I think there should have been like a statute of limitations on it. Be like, well, we ain't got it. Like, I don't want it in like 10 years. We've got 100 likes on that video, and then I have to do it. It's like,
I hope you guys are thinking the same as I am. This big ugly son of a is scared about camping in a church. And actually, if you didn't,
we've done it.
I was just going to say, if you didn't watch the Viking Way video, please go back and have a little look. We did camp in the what's it called? Ramblers Church in Walesby. We had no choice. It absolutely tipped it down. Yeah. There was a sign on the door that said "Ramblers, please come in and rest a while." So
it was pitch black when we got there.
It was pitch black. We got stuck in a field, chased by a bull and its mum. So have a look. There are some laughs on there. Anyway, so I think what we'll do next is we'll have a look at some of the kit we've maybe gone through and we've bought.
We're not going to obviously review it now because we ain't used it. It's just going to be a case of like, we've got this, can't wait to test this, whatever, and go through the list. So there might be something that you're interested in seeing. If there is, put in the comments, say like, you know what, I'm interested in the video, what you do with this or that or whatever. And that'll be the first things that we'll check. A lot of it is going to be stuff that we can't use it all on the same camps, but we are going to obviously use it all as we go along, kind of thing.
I think first thing then is, shall I just get them and show them?
Yeah.
Excuse me, coming closer. I know you don't like moving on there. So first things first, I suppose, is this big old monstrosity. And actually, I bought this a little while ago. I told my wife I needed it. I didn't need it. It was the summer. But it's an Arctic sleeping bag. It's an army surplus sleeping bag. And I think if it's good enough for our boys out in the forces, then it should be good enough for us to practice with and use with, really. I think you'll find from most of our videos that most of our stuff in terms of softies and waterproof gear and Gore-Tex is all army surplus.
Yeah.
Ex-army supply, because it's the best of the best stuff, really, or it should be if the government's giving it to our boys to use, boys and girls, should I say now, or everyone. Apologies. It's an Arctic sleeping bag. Apparently, it goes down to like -8 degrees. Really, really thick. I'm really keen to do a bit of a winter camp, and we had one planned. We've had a recent frost, as you all know, and we got down to like -3, snow on the ground. we came out the next day in the glorious sun, it all melted,
Yeah.
and now the temperatures are back up to 10 degrees. So
I was actually happy about that because I hate the snow.
he hates the snow. It's such a miserable game.
I don't care. I don't care if it's Christmas Day. I don't care if it's whenever. I hate the snow. I can't stand it.
This is the guy who dresses up as the Grinch.
Yeah, I'll be quite happily be the Grinch.
But anyway, because of that, we haven't really had time to practice that. But you will see in one of my next videos, the minute it hits a cold snap, for me, minus whatever you like and snow on the ground, I'm going to be out in a bivvy bag and that. And as long as there's no rain forecast, that's all you'll see me in. I'm not going to be using anything else. Now, as I'd said, some of the other bits that we got were from birthdays and Father's Days and presents and that sort of thing. And actually, one of the things we've got, and you all know, if you've watched the channel, that I love a fire.
He is a pyro.
I am a pyro.
I could quite happily not have a fire. I'm not that interested. It don't bother me.
I just think camping for me is a campfire. It's sitting around. You know, we often sit around. We have a natter.
Yeah. I mean, in that sense, I can't remember one of them. We was just sat around the fire and that was good. Keeps the bugs off. I mean, that's probably the main thing.
I think it was the one where it was the zombie deer one.
yeah. I think it was that video because we was sat around chatting.
I'm sure it was a zombie deer one. If you haven't seen that one, a deer came into my tarp in the middle of the night and tried to
into it.
What's the word? Spoon. We'll go with spoon.
But no, he just ran through the camp and
straight into me.
Smashed into his tarp on the way through.
The funny thing about that, and you guys wouldn't have seen it in the video, is I was moaning like a crying little wuss. I was under this tree that was swaying around in the wind, and I could not sleep. And I could hear cracking, and I thought we were gone, as I thought we were going to have some widowmakers come down. And then this deer runs into the tarp, and I jumped out my sleeping bag as fast as you like.
Yeah.
And thinking it was a branch in a tree coming down, and it was a blooming deer running. Well, I suspect it was a deer. We never actually saw it.
No, but we saw a lot of deer the next morning.
We saw a lot of deer. So one of the things we bought for that was a camera trap. You guys suggested it, really.
Yeah.
We asked for suggestions, and I got a little bit of a bonus from work, a little COVID thank you bonus, I think it was.
I got sacked.
You got sacked, yeah.
Well, not literally.
You could be seen as a bonus in some respects.
Yeah, I suppose. Got out of hell.
New ventures.
Saving time, did parole.
Camera trap. So we actually got a camera trap, and it's quite a decent one. Really, it would cost a fair bit of money. We have tested it. It works really, really well.
We haven't tested it out in the field, mate.
Not in the field. I've tested it in my garden, watching the blue tits and the robins.
It works.
Yeah. So it does a good job. It is a Wi-Fi one, and I suspect I won't be able to connect to it when we're out. Because I connect to my phone. Yeah, I think I have to be on the same Wi-Fi. But what it will mean is that when we get home, I'd have to take the card out. I can just transfer it all over to the computer and upload it that way.
Either that or his missus can watch us and keep tabs on us from
logging in from where we are. So the fire pit. So we all know the motto, leave no trace. And I think it's funny. I think it's a funny motto. Don't lynch me. But I don't think it's ever possible to leave no trace. Because if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, wherever you camp, you're laying on grass, we're standing on wildflowers, we're clearing the brush on the floor. So yes, all right, it might look like you've not left a trace.
Yeah, as long as you're not leaving crap.
Yeah.
Obviously their biggest pet peeve, and you'll have seen it in half our videos, is people who just leave litter and just crap everywhere. That's the biggest thing. That's obviously where leave no trace obviously was. You get these proper militant ones, and it drives me crazy where it's like, well, you clearly have left a trace because you've had a fire. Jog on.
And I just think, if we've had a fire, and you couldn't, when we have a fire, you'll see in our videos, we have a fire, really small one. We dig a hole, we make it, we put water in it after we leave. You would never know it was there. We make sure everything's died off. In fact, we do that before we even go to bed. We don't leave it burning.
No.
But leave no trace to me is if you're looking at the purist, it's leaving no trace. But actually for us it means, and in fact I think it means leaving the place better than you found it, because what we
at the time,
what we often do is take a bag and take the rubbish home with us. So anyway, that was another one. Little fire pit. Fire's off the ground. We're not causing any damage to the soil and the microorganisms. I can still have a burn without you moaning at me.
It's not very stealthy, but
it's not very stealthy. But
every time we have had a fire, there's always been at least one comment going, "Well, that's not very stealthy."
Yeah,
right. It's not, but at least we're warm, and the bugs aren't eating us.
And you'll see in the summer we don't have a fire at all in the summer. We only ever in the winter or when it's raining, and usually it's to cook our food or dry ourselves off if we've walked a long, long way.
And yet, even when we did the Viking way, like we said, it absolutely hammered it down the entire time, and we never had one fire.
Not one fire.
No,
but we did that deliberately, didn't we? We
just didn't want to. We got to a point of exhaustion where it was like,
yeah.
we're not having a fire. We're just gonna crash wherever we are. It's fine. We'll be all right.
I mean, we it was summer as well, so we had no intentions of burning anything. We thought it was going to be
everything was wet anyway.
The year before was like 40 degrees, and we thought it was going to be the same. We thought we were going to be setting fire to fields otherwise. So we didn't go for any fire, and actually we probably could have done with one. So one time we needed one. Anyway, so we thought just to please those purists out there, it will mean that the fire's off the floor. We can still have a bit of fire, have a bit of a cook up, and that's one of the things we didn't talk about actually. One of the things I want to do this year is a bit more wild cooking.
Yeah, I love cooking. But yeah.
But out in over a proper fire, there's some friends of ours who have permissions on land, and they have some of the lands they have to cull rabbits and squirrels and that sort of thing. Not particularly what we do, but I am hoping at some point we can do a bit of a catch and cook. A little collapsible fire pit. It's quite heavy duty really. I'm not going to set it up properly. Put everything down. Excuse the poor video etiquette. But essentially, it will collapse and make a little burning stove like that. Yeah. Feed the front with twigs and anything else, and there's a little coal tray at the bottom. The top has a grill. It might not be any good, but
it's quite heavy though, isn't it?
It is quite heavy duty, and that's why we haven't really used it yet. One of the other reasons. It does come with a little
blow tube thing.
Blow tube and a wire saw for cutting. I'm not sure we'll ever use any of those.
No. Yeah.
It is heavy duty. We haven't actually used it yet. Because we didn't really need to. It was summer when we were camping, a lot of it, and we didn't really want to have a fire just to cook for that purposes of that.
And a lot of the things we have done this year, hiking wise, and last year it was long hikes and then camps. And the last thing we wanted to be doing was like taking food with us to then obviously like cook it wherever we are. Because I mean, we was walking like 8-9 hours. By that point, anything you've got on you spoiled. Like there was no point. So the idea is that, except for the catch and cook and the wild cook side of things, there'll be camps where we'll go to, like we've got friends like Taylor was saying, got friends who have like permissions on lands or their own lands, I guess. Mm-hmm. So we'll actually the video will be solely camping, cooking. There'll be no hiking. It'll just already start from the campsite kind of thing. Probably setups and stuff like that, like we've done before. But that'll be it. It was a case of trying to find the middle ground, because obviously we started this hiking, camping one part of it. It was just walk for
and exploring abandoned places, really.
That's it, yeah. And then camping crept into it, because we was getting to a point of hiking where it was like, right, well, we've really got to turn around and go back now.
We've done like 15 miles.
That's it. We've got to turn around and go back, because we've got the same distance to get back. Otherwise, we're screwed to get home, kind of thing. And then it was like, oh, we'll just stop camping and we'll carry on, and so on and so on. So that's kind of the evolution of where we are right now.
I mean, we're doing long distance because we were trying to prepare the fitness for the hike, and nothing, guys, if you're going to do it, nothing can prepare you for that.
No.
When it's
another train.
Yeah, another train. Sorry, guys. But yeah, nothing prepares you for that.
No.
When it's hilly and it's rainy and you're avoiding cows that are trying to kill you.
Yeah, it was mentally destroying, soul destroying.
And we deliberately not. We knew the route, but we deliberately not looked for camping spots, rightly or wrongly. But we didn't walk the route while we were practicing, because we wanted it to be a journey, a bit of an adventure, really.
Yeah.
We didn't want to go and go, oh yeah, we've seen this bit and there's a shop down the road.
Yeah.
And
although weirdly, we actually did end up doing that by accident on a couple of bits.
Yeah, we come across bits we've already walked in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as Dad says, I think the longest walk we did when we did a camp, and you guys won't know this because we don't really go into it on the videos, but we did a 22, 23 mile walk out. Again, got stopped by cows reaching our. We were looking for that lake, weren't we? Got stopped by cows in that field.
Yeah. Still never found it.
Still never found it. But anyway, so you can imagine we didn't want to walk another 22, 23 miles back home again.
Yeah.
So it started out like that, and it just evolved into camping, really.
Yeah.
And then actually it was, we can get out the house for a couple of hours or an evening and just have a natter and talk nonsense. As you guys know, I could talk for Britain, and Adam just sits there and
just chills
out, having to listen to me. I don't know why it brings me, to be fair. It's not particularly chilling.
Fodder in case there's cows or bulls that needs, I don't have to outrun a bull, so I have to outrun him.
I used to say I was faster than him, but since my injury, I know I'm not.
Yeah, that's it. I'll just hobble him. That'll be fine.
I used to say I'd have to outrun him, and he couldn't. I'd be all right, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
At one point, actually, when we got stopped by that bull, we were. That was near the Wellesby Tilby bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
We got stopped by that bull, and we were talking about jumping a fence. And we had a £50 backpack on. We'd done 17, 18 miles by that point, or maybe more. And there was no way I was jumping a fence.
No.
I couldn't have even fell over the fence.
No, I wouldn't have been able to take it, but the mentality was like, I ain't going nowhere, I'm going to fight this bull.
I think
it would have killed me instantly, but I was that tired, and the bag was that heavy, and we'd gone that far that it was at a point of like, you know what, let it take me out of them. Because I refuse to walk more miles for no reason. Like, if it's coming, it's coming.
Somebody said about how did you put up with it? Him put up with me that whole time, that 8 days. And actually, I think that was probably the closest time we come to having a bit of a disagreement in front of that church with that cow.
Yeah, we couldn't. It was one of them where it was like
he was going, we're going forward, and I'm going, no, we're going back.
Yeah, there was no out.
There was no out.
I did not want to add more miles for no reason.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it, that old couple came walking across the field
from the opposite direction. There was like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Just walk.
Yeah.
So we sucked it up a little bit, walked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great night, actually.
Yeah. One other thing to obviously show, random. This cost absolutely nothing, so I'm not too bothered about experimenting with it, whatever.
Yeah, we don't expect the camera quality is going to be hugely brilliant.
No, but a drone for the. We went to a few places where the views. I'm not taking it all like that, but the views was awesome. Like we've tried to capture what we can with our phones and everything, and we watch other channels, and we know that they've all got drones, the proper high end ones. So it was like we've got to get something like that to try and get shots of the camp areas. You know, the areas where we want to go or where we are. But good old Timu, like it was weird. One of my daughters, they'd messed around with it or whatever, and there was like, let me send you this link or something. I don't know. I don't understand how it all works. I don't really care, to be honest. But she sent me it, and it was like, you know, share with your friends or whatever. And I've heard that it's basically a dodgy site. And,
yeah, I was a skeptic.
But I've got no skin in the game for it. Like they haven't got any details except for my address. So it was like, fine, whatever. I don't care. Messed around with it. And it was like choose stuff or whatever, and I chose a drone just thinking, well, it's not costing me anything. If it comes and it's garbage, fine, whatever. If it don't come at all, I ain't paid for it, so I really don't care. But it turned up, like, you know, a couple of weeks later or something, it turned up. But I hadn't used it. I mean, other than opening it like I just did, I ain't took it out, I ain't messed about. I've got 2 cameras on it though. But it'll be good.
And let's not be unrealistic.
Some kind of shots.
It's not going to be any of these DJI minis where we go 500 metres in the air and it stays still and you can see us. Yeah. This is for over the camp and those really a bit higher shots but more close in, isn't it? Just to give it a bit of a.
I've got a feeling the first time I use it, it's going to go and just disappear.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it'll be in an oak tree somewhere.
Yeah.
And we'll have to climb it to leave no trace.
Yeah, that's it. I imagine it's going to vanish and just end up getting humped by a seagull somewhere. It's going to be nothing, but. You know, again, it's an experiment. If we get a couple of good shots out of it, great. If not, whatever. I'm not that too fussed about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But whatever.
I think we've got more kit. I don't really want to show it all just yet. I think you'll be revealing too much for next year. But we've got loads of plans. I think the next one you'll see of us. Apologies. No, coming back to that. The Woodwall video.
This Woodwall video.
Oh, I know.
He's made it forever ago, and
you can tell it's been nagging me about it.
Yeah. I thought this Woodwall video is going to get done. I'm sick of saying Woodwall.
So I don't know if you've seen them. The Woodwall fire starters.
There's a video further down the channel.
Yeah, there was £7 a bag.
Yeah, something that flat, but it's like a fire. What's in the fire kit kind of thing? One of our videos. There's them in there.
They're expensive, but they burn really, really well. They burn forever. But us being us, we want to try and make it ourselves or do it ourselves or just find a better way. And we use loads of lint and cotton pads soaked in paraffin. But we had to go making these Woodwall and they're so easy. So I said, well, I'll do them in my workshop because I would turn and I've got a paraffin wax melter thing. And that was 6 months ago.
More
than 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, the reason it hasn't been done is because we replaced. Oh, and that's another thing. I had to replace the workshop roof on my workshop, so that took us a couple of weeks to do. I'd help me out.
We had to build this one.
Build this one. So we've got 2 war rooms, as we call them. So it's where all the planning happens. So you can see this, and you might see it more often in a few videos. You might even see a bit of an intro where we're in the war rooms and having a bit of a natter.
Plus, it's where we can escape to.
It's where we can, yeah, absolutely. We're both into making stuff, so you might see a bit more of that in the future. I've got some out too. And anyway, so back to the actual point of the story. The wood wool. So I think the wood wool video is what you'll see next. So it'll just be an how-to video, but the actual next camping video, I'm hoping, will be a cold one. I suspect it's going to be in the new year now.
Well, yeah, as we're filming this, it's like a week or 2 before Christmas, give or take.
Yeah.
The
temperature's due to be like 10, 11 degrees where we are. It's come. I think America's got that cold spell and we've got the warm spell. So we won't be camping out in this. Well, we might be camping out, but we won't be testing this gear.
No. It won't all be in the same video anyway.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for some. What a weird thing to say is we're waiting for some bad weather.
Yeah, not too bad because we had some storms recently.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure when this will be uploaded though. Obviously, as we're filming this now, we've already arranged to meet up with charities. Oh, stop troubling. Meet up with some charities to give them the money. Weirdly, that's one of the hardest things we've had to do.
Yeah, you'll see it before this conversation, but we're doing it in a couple of days.
Yeah,
it's a bit backwards, but
as soon as we was chasing up the stragglers of people who, I'll donate, and then they vanished. And obviously, like Taylor said, he works in an hospital, so there's a lot of people coming and going. So a lot of those that came and then vanished, trying to chase them down was a nightmare. But then,
and it wasn't a small amount of money either. I didn't want to just leave it. It was about £100, but £100's £100.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think the actual giving we've done the hard part, but you'd think giving the money to the charity, they'd be like straight on top of it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, jumping through hoops, trying to get hold of a person, just a live person that's not an automated. Someone will get back to you, and then don't.
I jokingly said earlier, but I said it tongue in cheek, but it's true. I've sent in total, I've sent 4 messages, got 4 automated replies, and then 3 messages after that directing me to message somebody else.
It's like they don't want it.
Yeah, and I appreciate they've got a lot going on, particularly this time of year.
I get it, but I mean, like, there's the clerical side, and then there's the actual side who deal, on the front line kind of thing. Whereas, so you think the clerical side, their main job is going to be get as much cash in as we can. Get
it in. Whereas the other one, and it's not, we're not knocking anyone in particular, but the other one have said, come down to the office and drop it in. We're here. And they've kindly offered. Well, I say kindly offered. They've offered to take some pictures for their website. So
they'll be somewhere in here.
Yeah, we'll pop them in.
Yeah.
I think the other thing then, and the final thing, is probably the expensive bit of kit, which is
nothing to do with me.
Well, it kind of is because it's for the program, it's for the show, it's for you guys. It's a DSLR camera. You have to forgive. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll hold it up. Try the train again. You have to forgive the bloody great bazooka on the front. I've been taking some pictures recently of some beards and things, which if you head over to the other YouTube channel, we will put it in the description, and the Instagram, you'll see on there that I've been posting pictures of beards and squirrels and alligators and all sorts recently, just to try and do something, because our schedules just haven't really met up.
Weirdly, I've had more time than ever because obviously I'm out of work, but I've had 0 time at all.
And I haven't. So normally I work weekends every couple of weeks. I've worked every weekend now for the last 5 or 6 weeks, which means unfortunately I only get 1 day off a week. And they just never lined up. So anyway, so we've got this for recording, but we've also got it for taking some better pictures. So for you guys, we appreciate that. Sometimes the quality is on the cameras and on the phones, it's not great. And that's one of the things we want to get a bit more tuned in this year and get a little bit more professional. Have a few different cameras at different angles. I bought a new phone just so that I could use my old phone just as a camera. Dedicated. Well, I say that. That's why I bought it. I didn't tell the wife that.
Although I'm sure she'll see this.
Yeah.
Cut that out. Nope.
If you do, I'm sorry.
Love you, Kim.
Love you. Anyway, so it's just it's a little bit of a spin-off your wildlife one, because it is a joint venture still. You'll see some of those clips in our camping videos, because the two will be interlinked and intertwined.
And the kind of wreckers as well. So
Yeah.
like while he's out looking for, sky blue tit or something, then this is a good place that we can camp, and it's obviously tagging them.
Always looking out for tits.
Yeah, blue ones.
They're my favourite, actually.
Yeah.
Great tits.
Yeah.
I like great tits.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I have actually, and on that note, we were talking about this the other day. I have actually, through these walks I've done, scoped out some fantastic woodlands, some really good woodlands, and spoke to some landowners who are happy for us to camp on the ground. So, some of our camps will be wild camps, some will be stealth, but actually, I think there'll be a lot more this year, a lot varied.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of variety, should I say, a lot varied.
Yeah. I'm hoping, like particularly like a couple of the farmers I've said we can crash on their land and that. It's that's sort of takes out half the battle. If you're not trying to be too sneaky, then if you haven't got to be sneaky, then it works out loads better.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we can just concentrate on setting up and chilling, setting up earlier. Like that's the other problem. Like obviously you're supposed to set up late, leave early,
Which is what we do, but
it's hard to show what we're setting up if it's dark.
And we're limited for kit.
Yeah.
If we're doing a 20-mile walk, then there's only so much gear we can take, and you'd be surprised how much gear makes up about a £50 pack.
Ugh. The thought of it still makes me sick.
I know, yeah. So we want to be taking some grills and doing some wild cooks and having a little bit of music there in the background just for us to chill out to. Some lights on so we can see what we're actually doing.
At that point, it's just glamping.
Yeah, it is glamping. Yeah. It is
Wild glamping. I think we might have a new genre.
Take some fragrance toilet roll and go all proper posh.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be nice just to be able to drive to a spot, take the gear there, and have a proper camp as opposed to hiking.
Yeah.
And like you say, we get there late. We plan on getting there 40 minutes, an hour at the most before it goes dark.
Yeah. We
set up when it's dark, and then we leave. I mean, you've seen some of our videos, I'm sure. We leave 4 or 5 o'clock, and sometimes it's still dark when we leave.
Yeah. The hammock one. It was loads earlier than
that. It was 4. I think it was 4.
I thought it was earlier than
3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, I thought it was like about 2, 3 o'clock. Give or take.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, well, I know we said in the video. I'm not sure. You'll have to go back and look.
It was pitch black anyway. I know that much.
Yeah.
And again, deer. We walked up. There was deer in the camp there, so I think that camera trap's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, we might have some like decent footage that we haven't filmed. Do you know, like that we haven't physically speaking to and walking around filming. If we just set up the trap and just leave it, hopefully we might get some good shots to put in. We're gutted that the one video, the zombie deer video one that we had, we're gutted that we didn't have it then, and a lot of people commented how unhappy that they was that we didn't have that then.
I mean, that one got that. I don't know if you've looked recently. That video's our best video, and it got it's almost at 24,000 views. Which is incredible, really.
Yeah.
And a lot of the comments were, "Well, how daft are you? Don't you know to take a camera trap?" No,
like no, we didn't know. We said that. Like we don't
because
know what we're doing.
We're learning. I think we've learned a lot, and we know a lot more what we're doing now. But I think a lot of those were Americans, and I think for them they take camera traps. I think for us over here,
it's a standard thing.
Yeah, but for us,
makes sense.
it was never part of what we just wanted to go out and camp. We never really intended to video any of this.
No. At first we started filming because we was watching it, weren't we?
Yeah. And we said it's nice, isn't it? Like we talk about the Viking way hike. You go back and you look at that video, and I did it the other day. And you'll see if you go on my Instagram channel, I've used some of the little clips out of that.
I can't bring myself to go back and watch it yet.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've done some of the walks a couple of days after, some of the little bits of where we were, because I wanted to go to some bits where we couldn't explore because we were walking.
And he wonders why he's screwed his legs up afterwards.
PTSD. PTSD. It was the trauma from that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what was I saying? I've forgotten.
Shots. Trap.
Yeah, so we never really intended to film any of this. We filmed it for us so that we could look back, a bit like the Viking Way video I was saying. We can look back and just have a little catch up. I think we explained in another one that our work lives and our adulting lives really took us on a tangent and adulting's fine, adulting is what adulting is, but we weren't quite happy with what we were doing, and we just wanted to get out a bit more, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's sometimes when you're having a bit of a crappy day, it's nice to look back and go, actually, as horrible as that walk was, and as torturous it was, that view on that last night was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we started videoing it, so we could look back and go, actually, you know, we'll get up this morning and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to go make the best of what our day can be. And then, you know, a couple of hundred people liked it, and 24,000 people watched another video, and we've got about 340 subscribers at the minute, which isn't a huge amount, you know. You guys out there go, oh, that's nothing.
Massive to us.
Oh, that's huge to us. I mean, I cannot believe there's more than one person who wants to watch anything we do.
No, I think there's probably 2, maybe 3 people who consistently comment, so we know they're real. But like, it's that in the back of your head. Well, that's just like 300 plus bots, then, isn't it? Do you know, like it can't be real. It's not real.
Yeah.
But you know, except for those that actually that comment. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
It's been an incredible journey, yeah. And I actually, you know, I didn't think I hoped we'd get that many subscribers.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm hoping in a year's time, I'm going, God, I didn't think we'd get 1,000 subscribers, but here we are, you know. But it's incredible that people are watching, and that's why we do it, you know. You guys like and you comment and you subscribe, it Jesus on to go and do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we've spent, you know, this equipment I've got here, and this is one of, and if my wife's watching again, I'm really sorry. This is one of many lenses I've bought, and this camera equipment alone has cost thousands, really. Yeah, probably is fair to say.
I'm not in that boat. Like, if that boat's sinking, I am not in that boat.
Yeah, it's cost thousands, and you know, it's no small feat that we've done that. We've done that because we want to make these videos a bit better for you guys and for us, really.
Yeah, it's on us really to like try and at least entertain someone, or
I mean, I think we're entertaining. But
yeah, it passes the day for us. But yeah, it's if anything's useful, cool. If there's anything entertaining, even better. But really, we just shoot the shit, and that's it, really.
Yeah.
I have to find ways of entertaining. Now I'm sober, so I've been sober for a long time, but it's boring because we just used to go out a lot.
Yeah.
So now it's trying to find things that aren't in pubs and bars and clubs, and
that was another reason, wasn't it? You know,
yeah.
Do something that's not detrimental to our health, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which is boring for me because, you know, when we were doing that, I mean, you guys, I'm sure of all that. You do those hikes. You walk past the beer garden, and he goes, "I'll have a Coke, please." I go, "Yeah, me too."
I know.
Me too.
You know,
brotherly love and all that. I have to support my
right. If they've seen the last video, every pub that we went in or passed, you was having. I can't remember what it was called.
I had lots of IPAs.
Yeah.
The last one, the Oakham, was Beavertown Neck Oil.
That's the one you kept saying about.
Oh, I love Beavertown Neck Oil.
So he kept banging on about drinking all this, that, and the other, and I'm the one drinking the Coke. Like, weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyway, yeah, that's basically it.
That's us. Yeah.
I know this is kind of a long video. Hopefully it won't be by the time we like hack it down and edit stuff out of it.
Get rid of the useless waffle.
Yeah.
Which is probably 90% of what we just talked about.
90% of the channel.
But, you know, we are grateful. We're grateful that those people are still there. I suppose I have to mention one in particular. Lee commented again the other day.
Yeah.
Mate, we
comments first.
He always comments first.
Yeah.
But he messaged the other day just to check in and see how we were doing and wish us a Merry Christmas. And I find that's baffling to me. I find it incredible, really.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so appreciated. You know, when it spurs us on, we think people actually want to watch this, so we'll go and do another one, and we'll do another one, and you know, we want to make them entertaining for you.
Definitely.
And also have a little laugh at ourselves when we look back and think, idiot.
Because there's some stuff that hasn't been filmed, and I mean, me personally, I'm gutted that we haven't managed to film stuff like in Falling or whatever. We always try and capture it, but it just doesn't seem to work. So now we've got, like, you know, obviously the trap and all this and the other. The chances of like catching one of us like falling flat on a face or just stupid stuff, it's obviously a lot greater now.
Falling into a poo pit and into a ditch and
But anyway, we're still waffling. So that basically that's it. This was just an update and a bit of a things to come kind of thing. We're not dead yet. You know, we're gonna try and carry on and crack some more videos into there. We're still working out what our next year's challenge is.
I've got an idea.
Yeah, well, with me, time wise, it's going to be dependent on what shift I end up doing.
It's going to
wait
the new job.
I ate it already. I don't even know what it is.
It's longer than the last one.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, obviously that'll just be the the running theme underneath all the other videos that we end up uploading. But I think that's about it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the only thing then to say is probably if it hadn't already been Christmas, guys, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
I hope you have a fantastic New Year. I hope you stick with us. You know, we appreciate those that are still subscribed. I appreciate we haven't put anything out for a little while.
Yeah.
And I know we've had a lot of excuses, but there has been reasons. But we're back at full pace. So much love, really. I think the only thing to say is on to the next.
On to the next, yeah. Laters.